Who's the #1 graduate from the class of '97? We'll find out this week on Motoring 97.
TSN's Motoring 97 is brought to you by Quaker State. The big Q stands for quality, always has, always will. And Midas, the way it should be.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Motoring 97 Car of the Year special. And you know, it seems like just yesterday we were looking at the class of '96. And joining me right now, a man who never shows his age, Graham Fletcher. And Graham, the class of '97, how would you describe it?
Both sad and interesting at the same time. We saw the demise of some truly wonderful cars, but then again we witnessed the birth of some equally interesting vehicles. And so to reflect that shift in the marketplace, we've added an entirely new category for '97.
And we'll talk more about that added category later on. But first, let's have a look at the nominees for our first two categories, Economy Car of the Year and Family Car.
The Accent GT brings more power to the party, power that was needed in order for the Accent to live up to its GT designation. Factor in the stiffer suspension and its sporty demeanour, and the new GT is a blast. The Protégé SE specialises in offering affordable motoring. While it features many of the same comfort and convenience items found in the Protégé LX, the SE version delivers a car more in keeping with the demands of today's cost-conscious consumer. A larger engine, 25% more horsepower, increased torque, a stiffer body and a better suspension transformed the Escort from an also-ran into a segment leader, and so it garners our award for Best New Economy Car. This category developed into a real feud. First up we have the Acura 1.6 EL. While heavily based upon the Honda Civic, it does raise the bar. It also offers the cost-conscious consumer affordable access to the Acura brand name. Pontiac have long staked their reputation on loud, in-your-face styling. The new Grand Prix continues the tradition, but brings with it the credentials and performance to back up its visual claim. Leading the list of improvements are a stiffer platform, better handling, more power, and a refined interior. Improving a car that had little wrong with it in the first place is a tough task, although not for Toyota because the Camry is better in every area. Most notably, the new design reintroduces style lines and a degree of character. As such, the Camry edges out the Grand Prix as our family car of the year.
The Camry and the Escort. You know, Graham, Bill Gardner always says, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
No, but you know, you've got to move with the times, and that's something that the Escort has done. The car is now where it should have been right from day one. As for the Camry, they've taken a car that didn't have much wrong with it in the first place and improved it, and that's difficult to do at the best of the times. Therefore, the award.
Okay, now let's speed things up a little bit. Have a look at our nominees for Best Sports Car of 1997.
From the Spanish meaning shark, Hyundai's new Tiburon is aimed at the expressive buyer looking for affordable fun. Beneath the aggressive look, you'll find a 140 horsepower 2-litre engine and a lengthy list of standard features. Building on the success of the original SHO, Ford have upped the ante. Most significant is the new 3.4-litre V8 and its 235 horsepower and 230 pounds-feet of torque. The show is still the ultimate sleeper. The Prelude Type SH features Honda's new active torque transfer system, a system that helps cornering power and tames the 195 horsepower the motor produces. Prelude's performance package continues to delight. However, it's the Tiburon that earns the nod as our sports car of the year.
You know, Hyundai, Graham, has made no bones about it. They want to become one of the top 10 car manufacturers by the year 2000.
Oh, absolutely, and the Tiburon takes them a long way towards achieving that goal. The other two cars, always been a fan of the SHO. The Prelude, great legs, but it's a shame about the face.
I can see the cards and letters coming in already. All right, we've got a lot more coming your way as we continue with our Car of the Year special on TSN, the Sports Network, so stay with us.
You know, this factory is only 10 years old, but next year they're shutting it down. As Brad said off the top of the show, they're building a brand new factory about twice this size right next door. They're going to move production of the new Corolla into that facility. Man, they're going to be popping Corollas out of there like General Motors pops out Cheerios. So what are they going to do with this place? Turn it into the world's largest bowling alley? No, apparently they're going to move a new car in here. I thought it was going to be the new Tercel, because it's going to be Corolla based, and you can't build cheap cars in Japan anymore. They cost too much. But everybody in the factory tells me, nope, it's not going to be the Tercel, it's going to be something else. But they won't tell me. Nobody tells me anything. It's just like being at home. Nobody tells me anything there either. So you're going to have to watch Motoring 99 to find out the answer to this question, unless, of course, you already know, in which case there's a Motoring 97 t-shirt with your name on it. Give me a call.
Because when you consider the full-time four-wheel drive system and the fact that it's cheaper than the Toyota 4Runner Limited, it has to be considered somewhat of a bargain. What is it? Sandflies. Sorry, you do that one again. Well, that's it for the test drive on the QX4. Is this thing more than a Maxima? Oh, I'm more than a Maxima. You get a full-time four-wheel drive system, and it's cheaper than most high-end vehicles. Yes, I do.
Got it! Yes! Take that. Give you a chance. And another one.
We're back at the Toyota Assembly Plant in Cambridge, Ontario. With me right now, the General Manager of Quality Control, Don McFalls. And Don, this has been, since the first car came out in 1988, not only a significant plant, I would say, for Toyota, but a success story.
Well, very much a success story. In many ways, one, the quality of the product that come from this plant since day one has been excellent and very well received by our customers. For TMC, it was a strong venture into North America, and it combined the Japanese culture with the Canadian culture. It combined the Toyota production system with the North American team members, and working together, we have built a very strong, high-quality plant. We build the one model right now, the four-door Corolla. It has the two engine types, the 1.8 to 1.6, and of course automatic and manual transmission.
Don, thank you very much. And as Don mentioned to me earlier, the last Corolla will come off this line near the end of July. Then it will be built at a brand new plant next door. And as I mentioned off the top of the program, they will begin retooling here for a mystery Toyota to be launched in 1999. All right, let's now have a look at the nominees for our next category, Luxury Car of 1997.
Catera signals a new direction for Cadillac. This spacious mid-size car combines the responsive handling of a European sports sedan with the luxury and security that customers have come to expect from Cadillac. The fact that this car is based upon the award-winning Omega MV6 doesn't hurt its case either. The entry-level Lexus ES300 has been completely reworked. This latest edition offers more power, more comfort, more convenience, as well as superior ride and handling characteristics. BMW's engineers were instructed to improve comfort yet maintain the handling characteristics, increase interior room whilst maintaining the compact dimensions, and improve fuel economy whilst increasing power. The end result is the BMW 528i. For 1997, Catera picks up our luxury car of the year.
The Catera, indeed a fine car, but Graham, it ain't your old man's Cadillac.
No, that's right, and that's what appealed to me. You know, it's European flavour. Perhaps the only thing that GM are going to have a problem with is convincing the right type of buyer to come into the showroom.
That's right. All right, now let's look at the other end of the scale and check out our nominees for pickup truck and wagon.
The mid-sized Dakota pickup has taken a leaf out of its Big Brother's book. The style, personality and execution all say Dodge Ram. Beneath the sculpted hood, Dakota offers a choice of 3 engines. When equipped with a 5.2-litre V8, the Dakota can pull a 6,200-pound trailer, proving that this truck is anything but a toy. Replacing the top-selling vehicle in North America is a risky business at the best of times. However, the combination of aggressive styling, a wide choice of engines and a trailer towing capacity of up to 8,200 pounds lessens the risk. For just about any application, there's an F-150 to suit. Even those into things a little less conventional can make a match, and so the F-150 picks up our pickup of the year. As with the Escort sedan, the wagon brings with it a stiffer platform, improved ride and handling, as well as a larger 2-litre engine that bumps the horsepower by 25%. It also brings versatility and cargo capacity to the dance. The Impreza Outback builds on Subaru's reputation for producing affordable all-wheel drive automobiles. The Outback designation adds larger wheels and tyres, a hood scoop, and a front air dam that incorporates round fog lamps. In short, a rugged beastie with personality. More is the best word to describe the Elantra wagon. The 1.8-litre Beta engine delivers a 130 horsepower punch. The fully independent suspension system serves up more comfort and better handling. This is a vehicle that drives like a compact car, yet offers a cavernous cargo capacity. The wagon of the year goes to the Subaru Impreza because of its full-time all-wheel drive system.
We've got a lot more categories and our overall car of the year still to come, so stay with us. But when we return, Bill Gardner joins us to let off a little steam as our Motoring 97 Car of the Year special continues on TSN, the Sports Network.
You know, a lot's been made about the Toyota production system and how it helps these people build good cars. Part of it's insisting that the suppliers only ship top quality parts, and part of it's teaching these people how to screw them on correctly. But you know, there's some tricks to this business too. When this generation of Corolla was introduced, Toyota bragged about the fact that the anti-chip coating, that pebbly stuff at the bottom of the car, no longer ended in a distinct line, but was blended smoothly under the paint. They said it was just to make it look better for the customer, but you know, there's more to it than that. Let's say this door had been dinged in the assembly operation. Under the old system, they couldn't just bolt on another door of the same color because the anti-chip coating line might not line up correctly. With this system, it looks perfect. So building a good car partly consists of designing it so it can only be built the right way in the first place, and secondly, if something does go wrong, nobody can tell. These people are clever.
Our Midas tip of the week concerns warming your car up. There's a lot of pros and cons about all the things involved with warming your car up. If you have an older car with carbureted engine, chances are you have to warm it up to be assured of good drivability, because a car that stumbles or stalls in traffic is a liability. It can be quite dangerous. Most of today's modern cars with fuel injection, however, will run stumble-free right off the bat. However, it's advantageous for the longevity of your engine if you let it warm up for at least a minute or two. That allows the pistons to expand and become fully round. Pistons in a lot of engines are what we call high cam. They're slightly oval shaped when they're cold. When the engine warms up, they grow slowly round, and if you allow the engine to warm up for a minute or two, it certainly will pay off years down the road. If you're going to keep that car for 6, 8, 10 years, it will pay off. There's other things to be thought of too. For example, use that time that the car is warming up productively. Don't just sit there and waste it. And don't start the car and go away from it or use a remote starter, because you'll likely overrun the car. You'll let it run for far too long, which wastes fuel, causes pollution, and in some cases can be quite dangerous. For example, if you don't have a remote car starter and you start it and go away from it, somebody's likely to steal that vehicle. In any case, one other thing that we recommend is that if you're starting off with a car, whether it's carbureted or fuel injected, if the roads are icy or snow covered, wait till the car idles down to a slow idle, because you may get into a situation where the car won't stop when you go to apply the brakes. If that ever does happen, bump the car into neutral and apply the brakes gingerly, and you'll get that vehicle to stop. One more thing, keep a towel or rag on the front seat of the vehicle, because every once in a while, even with a thoroughly warmed up car, you get out of the vehicle for a few minutes and get back in, you drive away, the windows may fog up. If you've got one of these handy, you're all set. That's your Midas tip of the week.
A portion of Motoring 97 is brought to you by the Solder Seal Gunk family of automotive products, makers of Puncture Seal Gold and Liquid Wrench.
Our Motoring 97 Car of the Year special is continuing here at the Toyota Assembly Plant in Cambridge, Ontario. We're going to leave the plant for a moment and join Bill in the garage. And you know, one way or another, Bill will find himself under the hood of all of our winners here this week. And so this is his time to get even. So let's find out what's on Bill's mind. Bill?
Brad, I'll tell you, there's been a lot of progress in cars over the years. A lot of great cars out there to buy, and it's a great time to buy. But I'll tell you, there's one thing that really ticks me off about these cars today. One particular area where I consider that they haven't made progress, they've actually regressed, and that's in headlamp systems. I love driving at night, and I love driving behind a set of really good headlights. And most of today's cars have these aerodynamic plastic, or in some cases glass headlights, but they're aerodynamically blended into the bodywork of the vehicle. They look pretty slick, but what a headache to work on, and what a headache when they get broken. Here's a perfect example. One of the guys at the shop brought his mom's car in today. She got in a really minor accident, just a little scuff mark here in the front of the car, but broke the headlight. Now, we've already removed the fasteners, so it comes out easily, but there's what's involved with the new headlight. And this thing was $210 for a replacement unit. Now, if that had been a seal beam in a car a few years ago, they're selling these down the street at the food store we go to for a little over $5 a pop, and you get a whole brand new lamp assembly. Now, if you call this progress, count me out. Now, there's not a whole lot you can do about it, because most of these cars today, you take the headlight system that comes with that particular car. On some makes and models, you do have a little bit of choice. For example, GM minivans and pickups, depending on what level of trim you get, will depend on what headlamp system you get. And you can still get the seal beams on the lower level of trim. But if you want the upgraded interior, you're stuck with this garbage. And $210 for this is an absolute ridiculous price. And the reason it's so high is the fact that you can only buy this from the dealer. You can't go to the auto parts store and pick this up, and you'll have a real hard time even finding one in a wrecker's. So if you call that progress, count me out. Till next week, I'm Bill Gardner for Motoring 97.
Holy smokes, Bill, we're getting a little hot under the collar, although I must say I do agree with you. The price of headlights and taillights is getting ridiculous. Anyway, on with the show, and now to the nominees for the best new sport utility.
The Expedition is based upon the highly acclaimed Ford F-150 pickup, but with a few twists. The frame has been beefed up to handle off-road excursions, while the interior has been dressed up to reflect the luxury side of the equation. The rework of the 4Runner addresses the demands of today's sport utility buyers. The step-in height has been lowered without sacrificing ground clearance. The optional 3.4-litre V6 supplies an abundance of power, and the one-piece top-hinge tailgate eases access to the cargo area. Inside, there is now more room, courtesy of a longer wheelbase. The QX4 draws heavily from the Pathfinder, but with improvements, the most significant of which is a swanky full-time all-wheel drive system, one that assures the driver of the best available traction all the time.
Well, there you have it. Any one of those vehicles could have won. However, I selected the QX4 because of its very sophisticated all-wheel drive system. Now, I'm a huge fan of this type of technology.
The Expedition has it also, and one good thing about the Expedition in our category, I think, Graham, is the fact that it shows that the yuppies are starting to wake up to the fact that these compact sport utilities don't have any more room in them than your average sedan. General Motors already knew that with the Tahoe and the Suburban. Graham, if you want to get 7 people in a vehicle, you buy a minivan. And up next, our category is the best minivan of 1997.
The Venture represents Chevrolet's third kick at the minivan can. At last, the look is contemporary, and as an option on the extended length version, there is now a 4th door. Power comes from a 3.4-litre V6 that's as smooth as silk. The Mazda MPV is characterized by its convenient size and compatibility with an active lifestyle. A 3-litre V6 powers the rear wheels, and so when properly equipped, the MPV is capable of towing a 4,300-pound trailer. This is important for those into active. The Caravan offers an abundance of space, and with the addition of an all-wheel drive model, things should look up. Having received many awards for the 4th door concept, Caravan is going to be tough to displace as the king of the hill. But displaced it is, as we award our minivan of the year to the Chevrolet Venture.
Well, you know, General Motors called their new minivans an evolution rather than a revolution, because they knew that Chrysler had set the standard and General Motors was smart enough to follow with that 4th door. But Graham, the minivan market, it's still growing, but there are some thoughts that with the kids growing up and moving out of the house, the market could flatten in a big way.
Well, I somehow doubt it, because the trends indicate that it's empty nesters that are actually buying minivans now, and that's to cart the grandkids around.
Good point. Now let's cross the tracks and dream a little bit. At least Graham and I will be dreaming, because our next category is prestige, cars over $60,000. Here's our nominees.
Following on from the successful launch of the 6-cylinder E-Class sedans, the release of the E420 brings a new flagship to the mid-size Mercedes range. The 4.2-litre all-aluminum V8 features 275 horsepower and 295 pounds-feet of torque. Need I say more? The Q45 has always been more than a little radical. For 97, the package has been refined and redefined. The looks are better, the power plentiful, and the handling characteristics belie the Q's limo-like dimensions. The XK8 is the most significant Jaguar in years. Beneath its curvaceous body sits an all-new V8 engine that's as sweet as a nut. Add handling, comfort and panache to the package, and you have our prestige car of the year.
Will the XK8 be among our contenders for overall car of the year? We'll find out in just a short time as our car of the year special continues on TSN, the Sports Network.
Our Midas tip of the week concerns getting better performance. Still going? Our Midas tip of the week. No, I get another.
We're back at the Toyota Assembly Plant in Cambridge, Ontario, coming up our overall car of the year for 1997. But as promised off the top of the program, a brand new category, Graham.
Absolutely. This year we witnessed the renaissance of the Roadster, and I'll tell you what a renaissance it was.
I think that's Renaissance, but you know these English guys. Anyway, let's check out our nominees.
The Z3 spearheaded the renaissance of the Roadster. True to form, the Z3 offers perky performance, competent handling and all the fun of ragtop motoring. Sadly, the 138 horsepower does not do the rest of the car justice. The new Boxster is the first new Porsche in 18 years. Since its introduction, many have asked me, is this truly a Porsche? Trust me when I say yes, and emphatically so. Our Roadster of the Year combines power, performance and panache in a spiffy hardtop convertible package. The SLK is a truly exceptional car and so picks up our inaugural award for Roadster of the Year.
You want to talk about a Roadster? This is a Roadster. The SLK, eh, Graham? Why, did you never drive the Boxster? Anyway, never mind. Overall car of the year? Well, that's a tough choice this year. There's a lot of really good automobiles and not one that really stands out from the pack. Chevrolet Venture, well, it's a pretty nice minivan, but GM is really just playing catch-up with Chrysler with that vehicle. Buick Park Avenue, I was very impressed with that. BMW M3 and Jag XK8, well, they're spectacular cars, but they're only going to sell a couple hundred of those. I'm not sure that's significant enough to qualify for overall car of the year. So for me, for value, size, ride, performance, handling, fuel economy, and price, very important on our market, it's got to be the Ford Escort. Well, Graham, we usually don't agree. How'd I do this year?
So you picked the Escort, eh, Jim? Interesting thought. Well, I looked at the XK8, most significant Jaguar in a long time. I also considered the SLK, but I elected not to award the Mercedes-Benz primarily because it's a limited volume vehicle. And so for 1997, our car of the year goes to the Ford Escort.
And it's not very often we all agree on this program. One final question, Graham, money no object, what would you have bought this year?
The 1997 Chevrolet Corvette, but that's a story yet to be told. Eh, Vu?
Hey, Vu. Without a doubt, the Porsche 911 Twin Turbo. Well, that's it. We want to thank Toyota Canada for their hospitality here at their plant in Cambridge, Ontario. We'll be back next week more casually dressed as we continue to bring you more stories about cars and the people who drive them.
TSN's Motoring 97 has been brought to you by Quaker State. The big Q stands for quality, always has, always will. And Midas, the way it should be.